In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 4D energies that are influencing your life and you don't even know it. These are some things I've never shared before and things that once I knew changed the whole way I see the world. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, we're going to go deeper into understanding how reality works, the different energy factors that are influencing our life with us not maybe even being aware until you watch this video, and then you're going to be aware. And it has to do with understanding different dimensions, different dimensional influences, and how this all correlates together. Now first off, I just want to share this with you. You may know this, you may not know this, but you are an immortal spiritual being living a temporary human experience. And even though you're awake right now, experiencing your life through the five senses, there is so much more to you than you can even imagine. Like even when you go to bed at night, you wake up in higher states of consciousness. And when you wake up in the morning, you forget about it because there's a veil of forgetfulness here on earth. And the reason for it is so that we don't get too confused. The brain can only understand things from past reference experience. We probably couldn't even understand what's happening in higher dimensional aspects of consciousness because it's beyond the five senses. However, the reason I share this with you is so that you start to see that reality, that the way you see reality is simply through the past. It's through past references, through labels, through ways of identifying with reality. However, what we're moving into is a new time. We're moving into a new era. And this era has to do with understanding that life is more like a dream than it is so physical and solid. You see, the more we realize that our life is a form of dream, the more dream-like our life will become because our beliefs about the dream itself influence it. We've been told growing up that we need to emphasize our senses. Would you like to supersize that? Would you like more stimulation to your senses? Because the more stimulated your senses become, the more you emphasize that that is who you are. And we grow up believing that we are our ego. This is who I am, this is what I'm able to accomplish, and that's the way we see ourselves, and because of that, that's the reality we experience, and we really are made to emphasize form, emphasize the 3D reality. So before I get too far into this video, let's understand there's 3D, 4D, and 5D levels of perception, and there's much more than that, but that's what we have available to us right now on the planet. 3D is duality. 3D is normally very heavy. It's about control. There's been a certain control system on the earth for a very long time that's been controlling the media, been controlling the way that we perceive our reality. When you first go through a spiritual awakening and realize that you are unconditional love and bliss and you exist in these higher states of consciousness, you sometimes will ask yourself, why don't we know this already? Why is this something I had to figure out like this? And then you'll see there's certain power structures in play that make it so that we don't understand we create our own reality. We don't understand some of this. Now, I'm not saying to get mad at that. Just saying to be aware of it. So yes, there's this power structure in play. Yes, there is this duality. Think of 3D as duality, good, bad, light, dark, up, down. And that is the 3D levels of perception. Now, 4D reality is where things start to become much more flexible. Time starts to become more malleable, and 3D time is very linear. So you have to work really hard to get things done. Then you got 4D, which is more based on vibration, which we're actually in right now. If we are experiencing 3D, it's because we are creating the experience in 3D in 4D. Because the thing is there's a certain momentum to the way we've done things for so long that until the mass consciousness begins to shift the focus more into the 4D, we continue to experience the momentum of that wheel stopping in 3D. So right now we're actually in 4D. We're in 4D consciousness. We may be creating the illusion that 3D is still there, but we're in 4D. Now maybe you've noticed in your own life that things are much more flexible than they were before. Time is starting to slip away and become much more slippery. Time's starting to speed up very, very quickly. And this is all a part of the awakening that we're going through right now. And the 4D, what are some other things that go with 4D? 4D is about vibration. In 4D, fourth dimension, there is still a level of duality, but it's much more with that awareness than it is 3D. People in 3D are very normally asleep. Don't mean this in a negative way, but it's in the autopilot mind. 4D, we start to become more aware, and while there still is a little bit of polarization, good and bad, it is much higher vibrational. One of the reasons we love the movie Harry Potter so much is because that resonates with us at a deep level, because in different systems of reality, that is natural. Having magical powers like that is natural. Back in Atlantis times, that was natural. But we fell from that level of consciousness back into the 3D, but now we're coming back into these higher states of consciousness where we have abilities beyond that which we can imagine, which will take some time, not like tomorrow. You know, we're already having it. Have you ever felt like you can feel how someone else feels? They call that telepathy or telempathy. Have you just had time is becoming more slippery, so we're able to kind of perceive things in a more holistic type way. But that in general is 4D. It's much more dreamlike, much more magical, much more time exists now, so time is speeding up, and it's much higher vibrational. It's all about vibrations. 5D level of consciousness is where we get more into unconditional love. It's more this unity consciousness. It's this singular moment where we start to really be in the moment more than ever before. We go from thinking and doing just simply into being. It's a very high vibrational state of consciousness compared to where we are. And in our lifetime right now, we are moving through 3 to 4 to 5D. It is happening right now. We came here for this time. There are so many billions of people here on the planet right now because we wanted to go through this experience on Earth. We wanted to go through this shift in vibration because this awakening allows us so much growth because never has this happened before. You see, you exist right now in many different star systems as well, higher vibrational star systems. Maybe the words like Pleiades, maybe the words like Sirius, Andromedan, Arcturus. These are all different star systems that many of us have connections to, higher vibrational, things you can do in these star systems you wouldn't even begin to imagine. You can teleport, you can do things because you're not bound by time and space. 3D, 4D reality really emphasizes time and space. So what we're doing is we're remembering this is who we are. This is something that's been prophesized for a long time, 2012 and all of that. However, it's happening in a more gradual way rather than just this big flash of light and we're all in a higher dimensional state, and we're all doing it in body. You see, back in the day, when the Mayans went through an ascension, when they did it, they actually went in body, and it was something that they did as a group. Well, guess what? We're doing it together as a whole entire world, as a whole entire civilization, as a whole entire all of us. Now, some of us are doing it at different levels. Not everyone's going to wake up tomorrow, but we're all going through this shift in vibration. It also gives us the ability to let go of karma in a very fast and powerful way. Maybe you notice it now. The vibrations on the planet are so powerful now that what you put out is almost what you get back instantly. There are times I've had that happen to me, where I'll think negative about something, and then instantly something will happen that shows me, hey, don't do that. I was thinking yesterday I was thinking of something, this negative thought popped into my head, and I started to actually entertain that negative thought. I dropped my keys in my car, and it was so hard to find my keys. It fell underneath my chair on the passenger side, and I was getting ready to go into Whole Foods, and it was like this thing where I was like, I just knew that it was not that it's like, oh, you get karma because you thought a negative, now your keys are lost. But in a way, it was guiding me, showing me, go and, don't feed those thoughts. Nothing good comes from that. So there's signs like these everywhere because things are speeding up. And we all came here right now to be alive. This is the most potent time to be on the planet than ever before. And here's the thing before I get into the actual 3 things. There is so much attention here from all different star systems. So many different star systems are here watching what happens with us because never has this happened before in the universe in the way that it is happening now. Yes, there's many times there's this evolution of consciousness where we move from a certain density into another density, but we're doing it in mass amount of people, and we're doing it in this gradual way. It hasn't happened before like this because the difficult thing about Earth is that we forget who we are when we're born. We forget who we are so that we can remember who we are. And right now on the planet, it is a time of awakening, and many of us are going through spiritual awakenings right now. We're realizing there's a correlation between what we think and what we experience. We're understanding there's more to life than just experiencing body through the 5 senses or through the ego. We're realizing that we are immortal spiritual beings living temporary human experiences. And as we come on board with this, it's literally activating other people. And wouldn't it have been convenient? Wouldn't it have been convenient if we all woke up together? But what happens is we spread ourselves out. We spread ourselves out in families that maybe all weren't going to get it. And then they see you, and then eventually it opens them up as well. Even friend groups, maybe you're that one weird person in your friend group. It's okay. That's how I am too. That's how I was. And it's okay. It's part of the process. And it allows other people to then look to this person for them to wake up too. So I know I just explained all of that before getting into the 3 things. Now these are things that I think will blow your mind. They blew my mind. There's a show that I watch. There's a guy named Corey Goode, who's what we call a whistleblower. He's somebody that used to work with something called the Secret Space Program. He's someone that's done a lot of interviews with a guy named David Wilcock. And it's very interesting to watch his interviews. And I really resonate with a lot of the things that he says, a lot of the things that he's been through. Now, there's this one civilization that he has been in contact with. And what technology they have is that they are a 4D race, from what I understand, 4th dimensional race. They look very similar to us, but a little bit different. They're a lot taller than us. They have like white hair, a lot of them. They look humanoid like us, very beautiful looking from what I understand, very attractive beings. And from what I understand, he has been in contact with them, he had experiences with them, and they are and have this technology where what they do is they get inside these egg-shaped domes. Now in these egg-shaped domes, what they're able to do is they're able to project themselves to our reality. Their collective consciousness can connect themselves to our collective consciousness. And what they can do is they, in a way, can help us and guide us in certain ways. So we have that of spirit guides, we have that of our higher self guiding us, but they're also able to guide us and help us to raise our vibration. Because the thing is they are karmically tied to us. There's many different civilizations here right now, because in order for them also to ascend their vibration, they are karmically tied here to help us ascend our vibration. So as we ascend our vibration, so many different levels in this universe, beings are able to upgrade their vibration. So maybe if we're able to go from 3 to 4 and 5D, they're able to go from 5 to 6, 7D, or they're able to go from 7 to 8D or 8 to 9D. There's all these different dimensions, and the more we evolve, it benefits everyone. So they're here helping us, and they're here guiding us. Now what they said they will do, and what Corey Goode said that's something they do, is they get to these egg-shaped domes, they will project themselves almost like over someone's shoulder, like they're projecting their energy there. And what they do is they're projecting themselves there, and what they can do is they can look at, say someone is having a certain experience in their life, like someone in this reality, and what they can do is they can help download something to them that will help them, and something that will then help them and change their timeline just a little bit to where it gets better. So for example, they're able to see the different timeline probabilities of somebody on Earth. What they may do is they may project themselves there and then plant an idea or plant a download. This download could be something very small. Could be something like a download to go do something else the next day, or a download to go to some place. And they can then see that if they act on that download, if it influences them, then what they can do is it'll then change their timeline to a more positive timeline, because we all have a certain momentum of our timelines. So this is something that he says is happening, and there are many, many people from this civilization, which I believe is called the Anshar, and what they do is they will literally project themselves there, influence, and in our certain vibrational states, we can get that download. Almost like the movie Matrix. You know the movie Matrix where he like sits there, goes like this, and he has a download, just knows everything? It's kind of like an idea that gets downloaded into our energy field, and then we just kind of come to understand it. That kind of just came to me now. It's almost like they download it into our energy field, and then we just kind of understand it. So this is something that happens, and it can benefit us because it can allow us on a more probable, more optimal timeline. So this is a 4D influence. There may be also many other beings, rather than just this one Anshar race, that are doing something similar, because we have assistance. Sometimes we think, well, this is negative, they're influencing us, they're controlling us. We still have free will. We are, if that we agree to something like that, it's because we've agreed at a certain level. It's because we realize we're all connected, you know. If they're of a higher vibrational state, then they are understanding that, you know, they're not going to do anything negative. For the most part, from what I understand, from the way that I interpret it at least. So understand, you may be having these influences all the time and don't even know it. I know that there's certain influences in my life that I can barely begin to understand, like how I'm able to make thousands of YouTube videos with no script. I mean, I wrote down 2 or 3 little things, but every single day I do this, it's not because it's Aaron, the ego Aaron, that's so amazing at making videos. It's because there's an allowance of this information to flow through, and this information then goes out to you, and then you enjoy it if you enjoy it. So the idea is that that's one of the 4D influences we have, and we may not even be aware of it. Now, the second 4D influence that is happening, that is influencing you, whether you're aware of it or not, is our own collective consciousness and the 4D reality that is already here. Mother Gaia, the planet, Mother Gaia, is an entity in herself. We are all cells of this planet. And Mother Gaia herself is going into a higher vibrational state. And she's already moving there. And then what happens is we are also a part of Gaia. We are also going through it as well. So what's happening right now on the planet is old 3D structures are falling away. They're not as relevant as they used to be. More and more people are realizing that they don't have to watch the news. More and more people are realizing that all this negative stuff that's spewed at us in the media is not something we really have to pay attention to. We're becoming more aware of this, and this is because the old 3D structures are falling away, because the collective consciousness is beginning to raise. So the planet herself is moving into a higher vibration. Therefore, we are also a part of that, and we are also going through it as well. And I look around right now, let me tell you, more and more people are waking up than ever before, faster than I even thought it was going to happen. Because I've been making YouTube videos and I see how quickly people are waking up. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and it is happening so fast. And my guess is that in the next 5 or 10 years, it's going to continue to exponentialize. More and more people are waking up, especially as there's a younger generation on the planet. And more people are waking up. It's just this domino effect in the collective consciousness that's allowing more and more of us to wake up. So we came here to ascend. We came here to help Mother Gaia as well. When we heard the call in the higher dimensions, imagine you're in the higher dimensions chilling, higher dimensional states of reality, and you hear this call. And this call is that Mother Gaia, Earth, needs help. And we decide to come here to help because we understand it's going to be hard. We're going to have to incarnate into a system and forget who we are, but we're going to be able to help Mother Gaia ascend. Because as we come, then we're able to light up our own light, wake up, and set this template for other people to wake up. But Mother Gaia is meant to go through this transformation right now. And in our lifetime, this is something we're going to continue to go through, and it is an amazing, beautiful thing. The third influence in your life of 4D energy that you may not be aware of is simply your spirit guides and other star beings. Star beings, whoa, sounds esoteric, but guess what? We're all multidimensional. We all have existences in higher states of consciousness, and we just might not be aware of it, but we have connections to many different races. Because we are immortal spiritual beings, live in temporary human experiences, we would not have incarnated all of our spiritual energy into one reality system like Earth billions and millions of times. We also exist at different levels, at higher levels. And we have a star family that is literally influencing and helping us through this process. And then get this straight too. Every single person on this planet is multidimensional, whether they're aware of it or not. However, certain ones of us are what are called star seeds. It's just a label, but it's a star seed is someone that's coming through, that's literally planting the seeds and helping other people understand their connection to the stars. And we have a strong remembrance that we came from the stars. And we did come from the stars, every single one of us. But more of us are aware of it right now. And if you're resonating with this video, then you're one of them. But your spirit guides, which may be also star people, are helping you through this process. And maybe sometimes our spirit guides come to us, or we visualize them in angels, whatever belief system we have, but they come from a higher dimension of love and light. And many of them are other aspects of ourself as well. But they are influencing us. We, where we are, must raise our vibration so that they can communicate with us, because they're coming from a much higher vibration. So we must raise our vibration in 4D. How do we do that? Become aware of your vibration. Become aware of what you think, act, feel. Become aware of all of these things. Become aware of your environment. Become aware of what kind of foods you're putting into your body, how you feel, what you think. Become aware of it. Because when you realize that also life is a dream, this becomes much easier. Where are you putting your energy? Are you engaging with the old 3D things? These are all things that you can begin to ask yourself. And the more you ask yourself them, the more you realize that you can start to commit to raising your vibration. Make the commitment right now that you are going to commit to raising your vibration. You're going to commit to following your passion. You're going to commit to being in your heart center. And that as you do, you raise your vibration quicker than other. Now, another thing I have is the most powerful meditation I've made for raising vibration. It's helped me and many other people raise their vibrational set point. Is in the top of the description box below. It's a meditation you can listen to for 21 days. I think it'll absolutely change your life if you download it and listen to it. Also, I'll be doing more live Q&As on Instagram, so if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, you'll see it right there. Plus, what you can do is you'll see that I post twice a day, also native content to Instagram. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the little notification gear next to the subscribe button so you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.